G'day guys and welcome to the official team reveal for Supercoach 2022, and I'm pretty excited to get into this one. I'm keen to show you guys what I've got here. Should be good. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. I'm going to be uploading a lot of content this year, such as weekly round reviews, rookie reviews if we bloody get any, Supercoach Saw Play with DR, and maybe I'll jump on some other YouTubing platforms. I've been doing a lot of stuff with the Supercoach mates on the podcast side of things. So yeah, definitely getting involved with Supercoach, and on Twitter as well. You can follow me at Spillis11. So yeah, plenty. Well, that's my Instagram, Spillis Supercoach on Twitter. So yeah, plenty of Supercoach stuff going on there, just flat out all the off Supercoach field things going on. But yeah, without further ado, we'll get stuck straight into it. And D1 for this year, well, he wasn't D1 in my last team update, but he's going to be D1 in this one, and that is Jordan Ridley. Now, it is impossible not to start him because he is me man. I absolutely love him. I'm keen to watch him play this year. He's going to be freed up a lot with Jake Kelly. I don't know how much he will benefit from it. I think he'll score higher. I'm expecting, hopefully, well, at least a 105 from him. But it's just going to be good to go to the footy, watch him play, watch him take kick-outs from behind the goals, and knowing that I've got him in my team. And yeah, it's all about value for me. I see blokes going with, well, your Lloyds, Stewarts and Crisps, which they're all pretty good selections. You can't go wrong. But I'm not in a position where I can pay overs for these guys. So yeah, to me, value is key. And yeah, that's why I'm going to be running with Jordan Ridley. And D2 for this year, well, he was my D1 in the last team update, and that is Jaden Short. So I think you have to pick him, if I'm honest, for 535k. How much did he benefit without Hooley in the team? I know it was a preseason game. He always does it every preseason, just goes off. But there's no reason he can't keep that consistent bit of scoring. I'm expecting 130s every week, but maybe sort of 115 would be good because, yeah, no Hooley. The back line for Richmond is his. He can pretty much distribute and do whatever he wants. So, yeah, I can't find a way where I can't pick Jaden Short. I think Ridley and Short are pretty much locks for me. And yeah, I have found out a way where I can start both of them, and you will see later on in the video. So the next pick here is Lockheed Whitfield. Been in my team since pretty much day one. I was a bit sceptical on him at the start, but yeah, he's just a lock. I think he's complete unders, got DPP. There's just so much upside, and yeah, there's some downside with some unlucky injuries that he gets over the years, but I think the upside outweighs the downside, and yeah, I think he's going to be a really good selection for our teams. Hopefully he can remain that D3 sort of spot. That would be nice, and yeah, looking forward to having Whitfield in the team if he doesn't burn me. Picked him last year at one point, and yeah, it wasn't well, but yeah, I'm hoping that he doesn't do that again. So the next player here, I monitored him so much over the preseason. That's George Stewart. Never have I watched a player that hard. Every single CBA, I've already shared the stats, and I remember him like it was yesterday. 14 CBAs against Carlton in a low-scoring game, and 22 CBAs against Melbourne where they got up. So yeah, I think he's going to play a lot of midfield. You look at his numbers for Sydney; they're not too great, but when he does play midfield, he does have a ceiling of 90 odd, and I don't think he'll play a defensive role as much at Carlton, but I think the upside's really good for, well, what is pretty much 400k. I think he can probably not be top 6, but we can make a bit of money off him, and maybe a last minute luxury trade to somebody like a Jake Lloyd or a Stewart, or these guys that are on the screen now. So that could be ideal, but yeah, I'm locking Hewitt in, and yeah, a bit of a controversial call, I could say, but I'm actually backing him to average more than Sicily at the moment. Friendly role, he's going to be playing midfield. I got cold feet on Sicily. The reason I'm not going to pick Sicily is because I just didn't see enough from him. I picked him because he was underpriced and I was indecisive, but you're not really getting your bang for your buck with Sicily, I don't think, because it looks like he's going to be playing a little bit more lockdown in defence. Didn't take as many kick-outs. He's still got Hardwick in the team as well, so I just don't know with Sicily, and if he was Hewitt's price, I'd probably consider it, if I'm honest. But yeah, he's saving 50k for what could be just as good of a pick as Sicily. So yeah, I'm pretty Well, I'm absolutely confident not having Sicily in my team. It's not a deal breaker. It doesn't bother me too much. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. So, next pick is we've got Paddy McCartan. There it is. So, 38% of teams. He's a lock, really. I mean, I don't have much of a choice because, well, who else do you pick? I mean, there's just no one going around in defence. I've never seen carnage in the rookie department as bad as this in a long time. In Supercoach, probably in the whole time I've been playing the game, to be honest. But McCartan looks like he'll play round one. Got a very friendly role. I think he's good for a 60 each week. Doesn't have the highest ceiling, but I don't think he's that low either. Great ball use. He's a very good kick of the footy. Just doesn't miss many targets. A low amount of clangers, which is good disposal efficiency, and a couple of intercepts as well here and there. Yeah, I think he's found his form, and yeah, really looking forward to seeing him actually get a run at it. He's had a shocking career with concussion at St Kilda, role change. I'm expecting him to benefit, and yeah, it's gonna be great. Got good DPP as well, so that's also versatile. So this next player is somebody that I have noticed a few drop in, and some people are actually doubting him for round one. But I think Josh Sin. So I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I follow the pair YouTube run by Anthony, and he goes to all the Port Adelaide trainings. He knows everything about Port Adelaide. He actually has Sin on his bench at the moment, and yeah, that's good enough for me. And he has Mead as a medical sub, and yeah, Sin just signed a 2-year deal. Yeah, he's in it for the long haul already. Hasn't even played a game, and I think he finds his way into their best 22. I think there'll be blokes so stiff to miss out, but yeah, they just have to pick him. I think he's a very good ball user. Well, he can be. Decision making's a bit skeptical at times, but when it comes off well, it's really good. So yeah, if he's named round one, I'll start him. It's as simple as that. And if he's not, well, I've got a backup for that. My structure won't change, but my team may change in terms of which rookies we get and etc. So yeah, happy with Sin. And I have a bit of backup on the bench because I'm going to be rolling with one Joshua Gibcus. So probably won't score higher than 60 all year, if I'm honest. He cannot rebound to save his life. Probably doesn't take many intercepts as well. He'll just be putting his fist up in the air and bashing that ball away. So yeah, I'm just picking him as coverage at this point in time. A slow burn, someone that can help me over the buys. And well, in saying that, I'm pretty sure all these guys have the same buy, but it doesn't matter. I'll work it out when we get to it. But yeah, happy with Gibcus on the bench, and then I got to Conning as well, who is basically the last man standing. That's all that has to be said with this pick. I mean, showed that he has a bit of a ceiling against Gold Coast, and that was more than enough for me to pick him. But yeah, you'd just be a slow burn on the bench. Hopefully, you can get a couple of those really nice, handy scores for us. That'd be absolutely ideal. So that's defence for this year. And we're getting into the big stuff in the midfield. This is where massive decisions are made, huge calls, and a bit of controversies are often discussed. But yeah, this is what I'm going to be rolling with. So never will I ever not start Jackson McRae again. I didn't start him last year, and bloody hell, he burnt me to a crisp. Had him in my team update a week before round one. I dropped him for Neil. It was probably the worst decision I've ever made in Supercoach. So yeah, that really stung. And yeah, he's just the perfect VC option as well. Probably play most primetime games, and yeah, can't wait to watch him and just have him with confidence. I mean, he's just someone that you can pick and just not worry about it. Hasn't left my team all off season. He's not going to leave now. So it's as simple as that with Jackson McRae. So M2, this is a big call because I'm seeing a lot of people make some adjustments. You know the people I'm talking about. I won't mention names, but dropping Jack Steele, I understand it. I understand with the value, and I know it's hard to find coverage for rookies, but I think there's a lot of good options around the field that can help us benefit for that. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm going to be locking in Jack Steele for 2022. Yes, he's going to carry St Kilda on his shoulders, but with Rowan in the team, they've got Hayes as well and Ryder still. He's got some good ruckman hitting it down his chest. I think he just runs that midfield. I don't see him going any lower than 125 this year, if I'm honest. He's a superstar. If St Kilda actually have a good season, they looked okay. I mean, people write them off, but I think that they beat my boys, and yeah, we're never going to win that game. So, yeah, I don't think St Kilda are going to be that bad, and I think Jack Steele will improve from last year, and I'm backing him for another big year. And I have flirted with starting someone like a Darcy Parish to save 50k to fix up a couple of rookies, but I don't know. I haven't done it all year. I'm not going to start now. So, yeah, I'm locking in Steele. And I'm locking in Took the trademark Miller. He is one of my favourite players. And yes, I found a way to fit he, Ridley and Short. That was the biggest thing with this team. But it's worked out. And yes, I think he's just going to absolutely carve it up. We saw him against Geelong with Wits in the team. Every hit out to advantage was just straight to Took's chest, just streaming through the middle. I mean, kicked 2 goals, but running from second efforts off half back. I mean, they weren't set shots. They were, a handball receive off a rebound 50, like a kick down, like straight down the spine, like a sprint effort to the 50, another handball receive, and then a kick on the run, resulting in goals. That's how Took plays, and that he's just, I think Alistair Lynch, he's a Fox Footy commentator, used to play for Brisbane, obviously said that Took Miller is by far the best two-way midfielder in the comp. And I think he's almost a lock in my team anyway. And, yep, the big three, I'm just setting for getting this year because, yeah, good luck trading these guys in throughout the season. I know it's going to cost you elsewhere, but, I mean, yeah, the ceiling of these guys can all be 125 plus. So, yep, happy with that. The next player here, I mean, pretty straightforward. Lockheed Neil. Yeah, pretty much 50% ownership. He's up. He's ready for a big year. Had a full preseason, I think, for the first time ever, if I'm honest. And I think he's going really well. Looked good in the preseason, and I don't think he get back to his 700k best in Brownlow season, but I think he can get relatively close. And it looks scary having those 4 midfielders in my team. I think there's going to be a lot of carnage to my opposition when I'm coming up against them. And I'm going to get a good start out of the blocks. They won't let you down. There's no way. No doubt about it. So, yeah, I'm happy with Lockheed Neil. And this was a really annoying thing that happened. I was hoping this wouldn't happen. It has, but Matt Rao, far out. Why did he have to score good? And 120, I'm pretty sure, but off a lot of butchery kicks, butchered it. A few clangers in the dewy conditions. I just thought, bloody far out. This is just going to be an unreal pick because if he's scoring those numbers, I mean, it didn't even look like he was at his 2020 best either. Like, if he can hit the scoreboard a bit more, a few more kicks, a few more targets hit, he's almost going to score 150. And he's a bad man once he gets going. So I think Rao, I can't see him leaving my side anytime soon. Yeah, mid-price up, pretty awkward, but yeah, I'm rolling with it at this point in time, and yeah, I don't think he'll leave my side. And yeah, that's that with Matty Rao. Love watching him play too. One of my favourite players. So, yep, happy with him. And then we got Joe Berry. The downside with this pick is he gets up to 450k or something and averages around 80 something. Playing on the wing, there's a bit of a defensive role, a few CBAs here and there. But that's the downside of this pick. He looks incredible. In match simulation, I've been monitoring the lines a fair bit this preseason, and I like everything I've seen from Joe Berry. He was in and out of my team, but then watching him against Gold Coast, he's straight in. I could not, for the life of me, well, it wasn't Gold Coast, it was Adelaide, and Port Adelaide played Gold Coast. But anyway, yeah, in that game, Berry just looked unreal. First quarter, I thought, yeah, 260k, there is just way too much upside, and I'm locking him in. So yeah, that's that. So these are the rookies that I'm going to be going with. So we will go with, we'll start with the most expensive. So Horn Francis, 67%. I've flirted with not starting him. It's just impossible. So, yep. And then we've got Dacos. Don't need to go into this one either. He could be a keeper down defence. Not Josh. Yeah, he's going to get DPP. Both of them are. And that's going to be super flexible for our sides. So on the bench, we're going to go Ward. Jeez, that's interesting. And it's a lot of money to have on your bench. But I do have a plan for that. And you will see in a moment. Who was the next pick of this team? I can't remember. Don't you hate that? Well, who was it? I'll just quickly look because I've never done that before where you actually forgot who you picked on the bench. It wasn't. I think I dropped Saligo or something like that. Oh, that was so obvious. It's McDonald. Yeah, sorry about that. That was a bit of a brain fade there. You do get that. Once you clear your team, you don't know what you're looking at. So, Conor Mcdonald, he's going to be a really good bench score. He'll make some money over a period of time. Could average, I think, 65. That's a good result for him. And I'm going to give full credit to DR for this pick because, well, not that I don't think he's going to play, but he's going to be a cracking loophole. So Ned Long, going to play pretty much every Sunday, got DPP, and more importantly, it allows me to loop. I'll have to have Ward on field because they play for the same team, but it allows me to get the best score out of Horn, Francis and Dacos early because I will have to loop one of them, which is really annoying, but after 6 weeks it won't matter because I'll be able to flick him around the ground and cover my carnage elsewhere. For example, Dacos can go in defence and make amends for Josh Sin or me having to field to Conning or just something radical like that. So, yeah. And the rucks, this was huge. So, Sean Darcy, I think he's going to average 5 points more than Max Gawn. I think his ceiling is unreal. Did nothing, if I'm honest, in the Amy series and still scored sub 100. Like, just looked really lazy. Probably his worst game ever. That's how high his ceiling is. But the problem is with this pick, he could go down at any moment. And one day I want to pick him, one day I don't. And I'm not going to pick him at this point in time. We're going to go Gawn and we're going to go Grundy. So set and forget, Gawn won't average as high as Darcy. I can guarantee you. But he will play every single game. And he is going down defence as well. So, yeah, he can take some intercepts. He has great hands for a ruckman. You can't teach that. So, yeah, I'm happy with Max Gawn. But if rookies don't get up and I'm in a real bad spot, don't be surprised if I drop Gawn for Darcy to make an extra 20 or so K. So, yeah, I don't want to do that. I'll keep people updated on Twitter so I don't sort of burn anyone with my ideas. But, yeah, that's what I'm going with. Just safe and conservative. And then on the bench, we've just got Hayes. He's good coverage. I think he'll play. He's going to be, I think he averaged 60. He looks pretty good against Essendon, but didn't look like, I thought he had a little bit more in him, and yeah, still got a 60, so I'm happy with that. Someone that'll make some money on our bench as well, so that's good. And then the dreaded forward line, this is where I've paid up a fair bit around the ground, so yeah, expect some carnage down here, no doubt about it, but I think I speak for others there as well. So Josh Dunkley, he was a number 1 ranked player in the comp before he did his shoulder last year in round 6, I think it was. So just on that, absolutely locking him in. If he has a good run at it this year, he could almost be M1. I mean, yeah, unbelievable stuff from Josh Dunkley. I think he's not sure what's going on there. Been running a fair bit of energy with Supercoach and quick time player, so yeah, I'll speed through it a little bit more. But Dunkley, absolute lock. He's not going anywhere. Hasn't all off season, so yep. Butters as well. Yep, locking in Zach Butters. I think, well, we've seen the reports. I watched the press conference with him saying, well, I think one of the guys in the press conference was admiring his haircut. You know, is this man a little bit more of a serious Zach Butters this year? He's going, yeah, I think so. Yeah, going to be playing midfield. He looks like he's ready to absolutely crush it this year. And if you don't start Zach Butters for 443K, you might have to trade him in round 4 for 510K. So that's the upside of this pick. I think he's just going to hurt people not starting. And yep. F3, I'm not going to lie, I have got cold feet on Heaney. I saw him go forward and I thought, no, this is a bit of a, well, as George would say, liar, John Longmire. He was promised to midfield time, Heaney, over the off-season, read articles and match sim, everything was going right. But with the injury news of Papley, I think he'll get a little bit more midfield split with Buddy coming back in. That'll free up a spot for him. But I think they really need someone to replace Papley. And Heaney down forward is as good as anything we've ever seen. So I think he's an absolute liability down there, and I can't see him playing any more than a 50-50 split. So that's the best case scenario. So I've got cold feet on Heaney, unfortunately, because he was someone that I was very keen to start, but it's not going to be the case. So we're gonna forget F3 altogether and go Stephen Cornelio, who is, well, pretty much the biggest lock in Supercoach. You can't go wrong. I mean, pass the eye test against Collingwood, 261k. He's probably going to be a keeper. So it's as simple as that. I don't need to go on there. And then this next spot, well, this is another 200k player, but it's not the 200k player you'd think, because I'm not going to pick Brodie. I think he's a good selection, but I reckon he's got burn man written all over him. Soft tissue injuries, low time on ground. Like, there was a period where there was no Mundy or Fife, and you still got, what's the guy's name again? Oh, jeez. There's another midfielder as well for Fremantle that's got to come back in the team. But anyway, yeah, they're pretty stacked down there. So I don't think Brodie will get much time in the midfield, and I don't think he's got the tank for it either. Going to average good. Like, he scored really good off low time on ground. I think he got 100 off 67%. So the signs are pretty good. And if you want to go there, you can, but I just haven't really been considering him, and he could make me pay, but I'm willing to. I don't think he's a must-have. And then McGovern as well. He's a good shout. This is DR's guy. Been on him since day one. Looks really good. But another player that's injury-prone, and I just don't have a good read on. So there too, that could make me pay. But someone that I do have a good read on is, well, if you've watched the draft with the Supercoach mates, you know where this is going. So we're going to go one Tristan Cherry. So 10%, that's a bit more than I thought. When I picked him, he was about 2%. So Cherry, I think he's North Melbourne's R1. I think he will play more ruck time than Goldstein. I think Goldstein's getting to that point. He will definitely retire this year, just by looking at it. And they had a 50-50 split in the ruck, and that's probably what we'll see a lot. And he still benefited, Cherry. Had 17 disposals, nearly 30 hit-outs. I mean, the ceiling is too good for 200k. I think this is an absolute steal of a selection. And yes, there's CCJ as well in the mix, but have you guys ever seen him in a ruck contest before? Absolutely hopeless. He can't ruck. So I think they need him down forward to help Larky. He was in a bit of trouble on the weekend, Larky, so he definitely needs the support. So I think CCJ comes in to help him at centre-half forward. They're bleeding really bad, North Melbourne. The reason that they were so bad last year is because they didn't have Ben Brown. They were pretty much leaking a spot down the forward line. So what's that got to do with Cherry? Well, I think his job security is pretty good. I don't know if he's going to be named round one, but, I mean, he couldn't have done any more on the weekend unless he put through a couple of goals. So, yeah, I think he's someone that's not going anywhere. I'm happy to have him at F4. Usually I don't like going light in the forward line, but I think this year we can, because we don't have much going on in defence. So I usually go light in defence because we've got some good mid prices, but it's just not the case this year. So, yeah, I'm going to go with an exclusively light forward line. So, yep, Tristan Cherry, welcome to the Spills Lethals team. Happy to have him in there. So, this guy as well, I mean, he sets the tone. Look at that ownership. That's pretty crazy. So, Joshua Rochelle, not going to score that good every week. Not going to kick 3 every week. But when he doesn't kick goals, as I said, he pushes up the ground. He does a lot of stuff. Good defensive worker as well. The ceiling is amazing. And I think there's just so much upside here. Probably not, he won't score good every week, but he's going to make a lot of money. And I think he'll be consistent, probably average maybe 65, maybe 70. That'd be absolutely ideal. And as you guys can see, there is a spot down forward that I'm going to be bleeding with a rookie. And that's because, well, I don't have a choice to field Corey Durden. I think he's going to be good. So, there was Harry Mackay, who was the Coleman medalist last year, and no doubt about that. And then second on the Carlton's goal kicking tally was Eddie Betts, which I think around 25 goals. No Eddie Betts this year. So if you guys know who the next highest goal scorer was, well, it was Owies with, I think, 12 goals. So that is as thin as you like. So when I'm thinking of job security, I'm thinking of Durden comes in for Eddie Betts, and it's as simple as that. He won't kick as many goals as Eddie Betts, I don't think, but Carlton look seriously good this year. They've added 2 extra midfielders in Chera and Hewitt. That can accumulate as well. Cripper looks like he's back to his best, so goals will come. And he may not score good every week, Durden, but I think the upside's really good. And he just forced his way into that team against Melbourne. Went down with a minor calf strain. I think it's fine. He'll play round 1. But if he doesn't, we got some problems, but I will manage him. But someone that I'm expecting to be a pretty good scorer. And yes, you can bleed at F6 a fair bit, but I think I will score okay more often than not. I'm expecting at least a goal and a couple of tackles and a few kicks and maybe a 50 on a bad day, hopefully. But yeah, we'll see how we go. I'm happy having him there at the moment. So, we're going really thin here at the moment, but we've got Martin and I can't believe I'm doing this. 4 102k rookies. Can this work? I don't know. Probably not, but Martin, I think, plays round 1. Probably a bit dodgy job security. There's a fair few guys come back in Shield and Durham and a couple of other guys, especially on the wing. Oh, go away. Yeah, especially on the wing there. But Martin, he sort of looked like he cemented his spot in that team. Had 16 disposals and a half a footy. He looked really composed as well. Always had time when he got the footy. Every single time he got it, he had good decision making for a guy in his first ever hit out that wasn't on an AFL list 2 weeks ago. So this is a really, for me, safe selection. So yep, I'm happy with Nick Martin, and yeah, if he's not named, I will probably chop Gawn for Darcy. So definitely prepare for that in my round 1 review. But happy with that. And Dixon, well, it's a bit worrying having Jack Darling back in the team, but whether or not he plays round 1 or not, I don't know. But I'm expecting some 30s and 40s on the bench as a very, very slow burn. But then he could eventuate into maybe a loophole. Hopefully Long can play, but that's another story. So this is the team for 2022. All this research, all this pre-season. I know a few people are chopping their M2 in Jack Steele to cover up those rookies and fix a few things up. But I'm not willing to do that because a real problem for me last year was in my team update. If I had just gone with that, picked, because I don't know if anyone remembers, but I dropped Mills for Daniel and I dropped McRae for Neil, and both of those picks failed. So what that means is you got to stick to your gut and what you think feels right. Don't change your structure before round 1 lockout. Don't do it. Don't panic. Turn your Supercoach off on Wednesday night when teams have come through. You know who's playing. And that's what I'm going to do because I know we're not getting the rookies, but this structure here, this is what I'm going to be rolling with, and I'm very happy with it. I'm confident. I'm going to score well. I might bleed a little bit here every now and again, but when you got all this good rookie coverage, your Berries, your Rows, your Hewitts and your Cherries, I mean, there's so much cash gen to come through, and I think it's going to really benefit. So, yeah, I'm happy with this team, and I'm really, or more so happy that I was able to fit in virtually every single premium I wanted. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. But yeah, super happy with this team, and I'm keen to hear everyone's thoughts on it. And more so, I'm keen to get into AFL and Supercoach for 2022. It's going to be a cracking season, and yeah, it should be good. But I'll end it here, guys, because I have rambled on for quite some time now. And yeah, hope you guys like the team, and as I said, definitely subscribe to the channel. I mean, it helps me a lot. I'm trying to push 1,000. I think I'm on 845 at the moment. So yeah, I got 900 subs in the last month, which is crazy stuff. It's been really, really going off. Only 3 months ago I had 600. So yeah, it's unreal. So I appreciate everything that people do for the channel and jumping on board. So yep, subscribe if you haven't. It means everything to me. And yep, I won't ramble on here. I'll end it. So yep, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.